Bushnell, performance is the only thing. Savage Arms, better comes standard. Federal Premium Ammunition, surgical precision, terminal results.
Hi folks, thanks for joining us here at Bushnell's Trigger Effect. This week's episode is going to take part in two different hunts. We're going to start off with our good friend and sponsor, Chris Kitt of Kitt Equipment. We're going to be heading to Saskatchewan. We're going to be hunting with Kelly Reedman of Redman Trophy Big Game Hunts. We're going to be targeting big bull elk, and I'm sure Chris is dialed in for that. The second part of the episode is going to be a do-it-yourself black bear hunt right here in Manitoba. I'm going to be going after big Bruins here and can't wait to get in the stand. So you're not going to want to miss this. It's going to be a great action-packed episode. Well, Kelly, what's the game plan for this morning?
Well, she's calm again.
Yeah.
Dead calm, and I think we'll just go poke down through the valley and see if there's any bulls moving. We saw some when we were stalking bison moving down in the bottom down here, so I'm going to go check that out again.
Yeah.
I don't think we disturbed them, so
No.
we'll see if we can.
Chris is up to bat today.
Yeah, we've seen some beautiful elk over the last 2 days here with your bison hunt, and I'm kind of anxious to see what we're going to get into this morning.
Yeah, you bet. It's a beautiful morning, so let's stop talking. Let's get hunting.
Okay, sounds good.
One of those mornings where it's almost eerie. It is so quiet. As you're glassing, you feel your heartbeat going, the vibration. But that's what the thrill's all about. One of them ran in the bush. I didn't see any bone off the head, but every time we've been seeing cows, there's been some bulls with them. They might just be in the bush still from this morning, so we'll keep creeping up and see if we can get another look at them. So Kelly's saying he did see a bull, so that was 4 cows. And a bull was with him, but he must have still been in the trees. So we've got the ground is completely frozen. So we've got some area here where we think those elk had come through, kind of broken up. Dirt's a little bit loose. Leaves are scuffed, so just gonna keep working our way this way. So, which bull do you think that one is?
I think that's the one we saw yesterday morning. I think he's a herd bull, and we only saw him once yesterday, and then he disappeared, but that's definitely him.
Yeah, well, he's pushing those 5 cows around, so...
Yeah, he is. See, he's running hard.
Yeah.
So they must have come up here, hooked right around, and shot back down to the bottom. Because those tracks come right through.
Yeah.
But that means they're moving fast.
Yeah, they're covering some ground for sure. That's the fun of these heavy action hunts. As we're sitting here glassing this nice, beautiful bull, we hear a couple of antlers rattling together over here, so we're gonna go check it out. Well, we stalked through there pretty quietly. It was pretty much exactly where we saw the bull last, but we're gonna work our way a little bit north here and see if that's the way he went. Try and use this wind in our favor.
I don't know, he's just gone. Boudini.
They move around quieter than we do, so.
They do. Even with that big rack, they can get through the
It's
bush.
crazy. It's impressive. So we'll just keep on going.
Yeah.
2 feet and a heartbeat.
Sounds good.
On to the next.
You betcha.
This segment is brought to you by Safari Club International Canada. First for hunters.
Well, we came back from our morning hike, took a quick break, had a coffee. Now we're just heading out for a late morning hike, see what we can see before lunch. Sun's come out, we're kind of warming up. We've defrosted, so we're going to head up the hill and do some more hiking.
Yeah, late morning. They're probably bedded down getting some sun after a cold night.
That's what I'm thinking. She was pretty frosty last night, so.
Our wind is bad for this. All of a sudden it's going right in there. Let's loop around and kind of come in from the other side. Otherwise it's blowing right into the bedding area. Okay, maybe slip down here. We're basically sticking to a spot and stalk kind of strategy. It's the tail end of the rut. So these bulls aren't really out answering calls and coming to calls, so we're just trying to catch them in their bedding area and see if we can get one of them to step out. So we just had some crashing in the bushes. I think the wind, we haven't been able to follow the wind properly. It's been switching on us, and I think they're downwind of us. They just busted out. Two spikers. Just had two bulls run in front of us. Just little tiny spikers. So we located one, bedded just over this ridge in the bottom of the trees. It looks like a good bull, just under 100 yards from where we're at right now. I don't think he knows us, we're here yet. So if we could slip just over the edge, we're at the belly crawl, we might get a look at him a little closer, see if he's the one we want. But if he picks us off, he's gonna be gone, yeah. So let's sneak up here. Got this bull down in the trees. I'm not going to shoot him bedded down at all, but we're going to hope maybe eventually he's going to stand up and we're going to get a nice clean shot on him. The bull's just bedded down. He's looked like he almost got up once, but we're just not sure if he's going to take a left or gets up, stay in the trees, or if he'll come out in the open. We're just gonna wait him out.
Taxidermy services provided by Hunters Union and Ray Weens Taxidermy. And thanks to these other fine sponsors.
Oh, Kelly, thank you so much for having us. We saw this guy the other day, and I'll be honest, I've been laying in bed even thinking about Ken's bison and then thinking about this guy. This is just unreal.
We were fortunate to find him again. It was awesome.
Yeah, they've gone kind of a little bit nocturnal. They've been a little bit quiet, you know, post-rut.
Yeah.
But you kind of know what you're doing. You got us right on him. He wasn't spooked, and we got a nice clean shot. Thank you
Awesome.
so much for having us.
Thanks for coming out.
Before we head from Chris's elk hunt to my black bear hunt, I wanted to address a common question we get from our viewers. What is a biologist? Who better to answer than the Lethbridge College Conservation Connection?
So as a wildlife biologist, people have asked me, what is a wildlife biologist? Well, generally a wildlife biologist is a professional that's trained in the field of wildlife biology, ecology, habitat, for the sole purpose of understanding the interactions between wildlife and their environment. They could be specialists in some forms. They could specialize in mammals. They could specialize in birds, being an ornithologist. They could be a population biologist that studies the effects of populations on environments. They could be a parasitologist that looks at the effects of parasites on a wildlife species or an individual. And depending on what question we're trying to answer in the case of wildlife biology, we would use a different specialist. Generally in the field of wildlife biology, we can break us down into two groups. There's research biologists that answer big questions that look at how animals interact with their environments, how animals interact with other animals. And then we have management biologists, which focus more on how many animals are in a population, where do they exist in the population, can they be harvested, how many can be harvested. All those types of questions go into that management strategy. Generally, when we come to a position as a biologist, we can work for government agencies, we can work for private sector organizations, and we can work for non-government organizations as well. For the most part, we have some background in education, biology degrees or conservation biology degrees or ecology degrees are generally the foundation for where we start.
Well, this is a a bait that I have. I've got a bunch of sows and cubs coming to it, a bunch of small ones, a couple really good boars. It's going to be a good sit. There's lots of activity here, so should have lots of action tonight. Lots of activity here. The bears have been climbing the tree, checking out my tree stand. They've been all over the place. There's fresh bear scat. They've been hitting the bait pretty hard, so all it is now is just a waiting game. That was a decent young male. He's not a monster, but a good solid bear. Got a beautiful hide on him. I've pretty much run out of shooting light tonight. I passed on that younger boar. He's moved in behind me here now. And there's a sow with two little baby cubs in behind me. She's making all kinds of ruckus right now. She doesn't like this boar being that close to her babies.
This segment is brought to you by King's Camo. See the difference. Now, back to Bushnell's Trigger Effect.
Well, I'm back in that same spot I was yesterday. If that boar that came in yesterday shows up again, I'm most likely going to fill my tag on him. There's nothing wrong with him. He's a good mature animal. He's a good size. Got a beautiful coat on him. So, you know, I've just got to sit it out and wait. I know we all like to hold out for those big giant bears, but sometimes you can't stare a gift horse in the mouth, and he's a good looking bear. So if he comes back again tonight, I'm going to take him. So just going to sit it out. It's a beautiful evening. It's blue skies. Got a good northwest wind, which is really good for this stand. So there's always a lot of bear action here. Ever since I put this bait in, I've had lots of fun here. So we'll just turn the cameras around and see what happens for tonight. That guy gave me a show. Holy smokes. He paced back and forth and back rubbed on two different trees. He's marking his territory. That's a good boar. You bet. I am super happy. Wow. Holy smokes. That is a bigger bear than I thought. Holy smokes, look at the size of this guy. Beautiful hide on him. I better notch my tag. Well, folks, there you go. Here's my 2019 Manitoba black bear. He has got one heck of a pumpkin on him. Big head, big body. I couldn't be happier. The Savage Arms, Bushnell Optics, the Federal Premium 165 grain trophy bonded, anchored this beast right in his tracks. What a perfect night. I mean, this is why we hunt. This is why we come out. This is why we do what we do. I mean, it was a lot of hard work getting these spots set up, and these guys are tricky, and it all paid off. I mean, late season, he showed right up. I couldn't be happier. I've got a lot of work ahead of me right now. The mosquitoes are getting bad. The wind's gone. So I got to get this guy took care of. Thanks a lot. I mean, it has been a pleasure bringing you these hunts, and hopefully Dean's getting some action out there in British Columbia.
This has been a Thunder Boys production.